Hey everyone, welcome back to the Hidden Brick, where today we're doing part 2 of the build of the Lego Technic Porsche 911 GT3 RS. This is how far we've made it in the first build. Make sure to check that video out. We also did the unboxing of this really cool set. So right now we're kind of building the inner gearbox and transmission and everything else of the chassis. So let's go ahead and kind of pick up right where we left off. Alright, so we have this beam with a few connector pieces. Attach it right here. Alright, now that we have that in there, there's an open pinhole there, but what the instructions show us to do is to push this axle all the way through. Just like that. Kind of want to make sure that everything still moves. That's the thing when you have a lot of gears. If you squeeze something too tight, stuff then won't move very well. Alright, looks like we're going to make the exact same element for the other side. Goes there, so we have another. So you've got that pinhole exposed now. Looks like we're not gonna put anything in it just yet. Alright, looks like we're going to begin our transmission. So let's start with a 13 long light push grade beam. Put 2 of these pins with axle holes in the end. Have a couple axles with this axle joiner. This red gear and a bushing. Goes all the way down, and I'm not going to push it to where it touches because I want this. I don't know if you can see it, but it's kind of moving back and forth in this axle a little bit. So if I squeeze this bushing all the way on it, it'll push too much pressure on it. So I want this thing to be able to spin freely. So we're going to make another one that I just built. So same thing, I want a little bit of room in there. That one goes there, this one goes here. We have 2 of these gears. doing the same thing. You kind of see how that kind of moves a little bit in there. That's what I want. I want this to be able to spin with little friction as possible. Alright, 7 long axle with a bushing. Okay. Another 7 long. Gear there. Goes there. I'm still trying to get all these as loose as possible on there, yet still have them held on. It's these red ones. They don't have an axle hole, it's just a pinhole. So when I slide them on, nothing is really holding them on right now. Bring this guy back over. So this whole piece kind of slides in right there. And then these red pins will hold that whole element in. So we've got quite a few moving parts now. And remember, I'm trying to keep them all pretty loose. Looks like they're moving pretty well right now. Not hearing any grinding or seeing anything get stuck. Alright, so next, I'm going to start a little gearbox addition to it. Once again, see the little amount of play that's in there? It's kind of what I want. I want this to be able to move. Alright. Okay, good enough motion in that one. Bushing and a black bevel gear. Alright, so just like this, it's ready to go on. Oops, that gear's falling off. So we're going to insert this right through the middle. Oh, put that on wrong. Now, it goes right here. I have to get these gears to interlock before they'll slide all the way on. There it goes. And once it's on, push these pins inside of it. That helps hold it. Alright, next up we have 2 of these function selectors. Okay, 13 long beam, two of these guys. All right. We're getting some movement in here. I am. Okay, I was getting some binding for a second there. It is definitely getting a lot more friction, and I'm keeping everything loose. There's just way too many moving pieces. Everything seems to be moving okay for now. Next up, we have first of the orange color. So this is the orange that the body of the car is going to be. We have some of that in the inside, it looks like. Built 2 of these with a little toe ball piece on the end. And see, this one doesn't get a See, this one on the right side is the toe ball's at the bottom, and this one is kind of kicking it out to the right. That's the way they show the instructions. And that's going to be the gear selector. So we need to make sure to get that on right. These two beams will help interlock all the inner workings of the gearbox. Alright. So there is our transmission. Now we have to add a few selector switches and start building the shifter element. Alright, so the way this works is we slide this little finger element in there. This little piece right here, little knuckle looking thing, it actually goes right in between this piece, so where that slot is in there, and that gear will hold it on. You can see how it slides and selects which gear it needs to be on. Now we have these connecting rods. Six. And one of these things. So this is interesting. This is something we usually see in a wheel axle assembly. But what they're doing is sliding it in here and attaching it to this axle joiner, that yellow axle joiner. That's going to be part of the mechanism that is used to shift the gears. Alright, we have 4 Technic pins. pin with a pinhole attachment. There. Now this red axle slides in, attaches that piece there. Alright, let's move this to the side. We have a sub build to do. Goes there, kind of creating the front chassis. Now we have this other 13 long lift arm that goes here. Two more. We have 1, 2, 3. There. Alright, so these attached to the top. Slides all the way down. Turn it around. Repeat that over here. Alright, here's our gear selector. It's actually the drive, neutral, reverse selector. That slides right in the middle. Now we're going to cover it up. panel. This slides down right there. So we're literally covering up how you can see that connector. So it looks like we're missing something here. I need to go back real quick and see if I forgot to put something on. Well, it looks like we're good. There's nothing, instructions that show anything that goes there. We'll just go with it. Alright, so it's a 4-long axle with a half bushing, slide it through the axle hole in that selector. That should keep that in place. Goes there. And the last thing is this piece that connects to that axle joiner. Alright, so we're going to stop this portion of the build right here. You can see how far we made it. We got the transmission built. Got some gear selectors. We've got a little bit more of the chassis put together. In part 3, we're going to begin the build of the steering column and the gear selection box and all that linkage that connects to everything we just built here. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the third part, or check out my other videos if it's already posted. You can see it there. So thanks again, and we'll see you in the next video.